This call is being recorded.
Hello. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Rob.
Oh, okay, I hear you now.
Hey guys, so I finally noticed that I had been getting the conference invites the last, like 3-4 weeks, but I'd all thought they were calendar reminders. I didn't realize they also had the event in them. Now that the subject line was changed to say notification, I was like, that's different. And I saw that it was there the whole time. So it's a little bit ridiculous, and I'm glad to have connected.
Awesome!
Hey Rob, it seems like you have a good connection right now. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm sorry, but I didn't get a whole lot. I didn't get anything done this week. I was too busy moving into the new place. I'm now out of the old warehouse. But I have pictures though of it, if anybody's interested.
Yeah? What's the new shop look like? Show us.
Alright, hold on. Let me pull up. I'm unprepared. Well, I got the new app now, so I'm hopefully under WIKISPEED. Alright. I'm waiting for it to come up. Doing the screen share now. Hopefully. I don't see it. Give me a second.
How come you moved shops, Rob? I hadn't heard the story.
Oh, this one's bigger.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. It's got offices and it's got twice the size for the same price.
That's a good reason. Is it part of the same complex or it's totally different place?
Totally different place.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really awesome now. Ah, man.
It's over on the left side usually. I mean, I know you know about it. The green arrow, the green monitor with a white arrow in it.
Right. I'm just trying to get it to go to something that I can show it to everybody with. What was that?
Someone connected by the phone. Hi, this is Joe. Who's on the phone?
It's Michael Olswick.
Michael
I'm late. I'm sorry.
No. I'm glad you're here. Right now, Rob Moorbacher is trying to do a screen share, which isn't going to be too exciting since you connected via phone. But, oh, there it is. So maybe you'll be able to see as well.
Okay, it's coming up. All right, let me get this. What's that? Oh, man.
Rob, anytime, buddy.
I'm working on it. It's not on me. It's terrible. You see anything yet?
Nope. I see you, which is nice.
All right, here we go.
Hey, yay, okay. I see the Moorbacher logo outside like a real office-looking place.
Yes, it's got 3 offices in it. But it also, the offices have plywood, are built tough and have plywood on the top, so I still get the full warehouse space just about. The half of it will be storage, so, but you can walk on it. Rotated. Well, I would show you the other things, but I think I'd be wasting everybody's time. I don't have the access yet. So that's all I was doing is moving all the stuff from one shop to the other. So the WIKISPEED chart, I'm waiting for the money to come in the mail so I can get the truck so I can bring the rest of the stuff over, which is the WIKISPEED car mostly. But the windshield is on it. The windshield is going. It was sanded to a good shape now, so it's ready for the rest of the fiberglassing. So I should be able to do that next week. That's it. I'm here ready to see what's going on with the rest of the crew.
Awesome. I'm still making notes of what got done this last week. If somebody wouldn't mind going next, I would love to listen while I complete my stand-up notes.
All right, I'll take it. The way here. I did notice that the computer that's recording all of this just disconnected. I've been having some issues with it. I'm doing an alternate recording on the computer I'm on, so we'll still have something to post. So let's see. Last week I shared Santa's fundraising demands and the donate page on Facebook, and then I also put a couple other posts about various things on the Facebook site. I fixed an issue with the website menu not working on mobile devices. I think it's maybe been that way for a while, but I just noticed it today. It was just a little HTML tag that was not correct, and that took care of it. I added social media sharing buttons to pages and posts on the website, and actually I should share a screenshot of that to explain how this works. Can you all see my screen okay? I can't see if you are nodding, so okay. Okay, so the ones I added are down here, like in a post. So these are to share on a site. The ones that were originally up top in the very upper right are more like follow buttons. I tried to get some kind of text next to these to distinguish the two, but had not the best of luck with it. So I'll have to play with that a little bit later. And then I think it may be further down, but I also posted this comment to the forum and got a couple replies from Michael and Joe, and was able to post that back to the site. Also, what is this? I added WordPress shortcodes plugin for improved social media sharing, it says here. Very interesting. But yeah, basically what that is when you use those share buttons, it'll share it with a shorter code, which is like wikispeed.org and a number after it. So something that works a little better with Twitter and things like that. See, I approved some comments on the website. I already mentioned that one. I did a YouTube live events test run a couple of days ago. It failed miserably because the computer that it was on is having some sort of a hardware issue. So then I purchased some RAM and upgraded the RAM on it, thinking that was the issue, because this is the same one that had a hard drive I thought it failed, and it's leading into some of the recordings not going well. So I got the RAM installed tonight, and I did another test run right before this, and it seemed to be okay. And then, of course, when we ran this, I see now that it crashed out. So that leaves me on that computer with more than likely the motherboard IDE controller or something like that's out. So there'll be another next most expensive thing to replace, going up the ladder. So, are we doing blocks now, or yes? Okay. So I need to make sure that I'm invited to all the Dropbox folders so I can go ahead and get OwnCloud done. I'm not sure. I think there's maybe 2, maybe 3 folders, and I need to make sure that I'm invited, not just shared with the link. That way I have it synced up on my computer and can make sure that I have the latest version. And I'd like to, again, revisit the Libre Geomagic license download procedure. I don't know if there's anyone's figured out exactly how to do that. I was not successful at all. And so that's my last week in blocks. I'm assuming, are we holding off on sprint planning, or go ahead and do it?
I seem to like it all at once. What do you think, Chris?
I like it all at once too. So
yeah,
I'll go ahead and get that part out of the way. Okay, so I want to create a blog page explaining and asking for help with the current blocks we're having on the engine module, and then that's actually why I set up those those media sharing buttons so that those can easily be shared across any social platform. You can also email it right from there. The link on the very right of that is just to email it to someone. I want to add a video of the engine module idle issue. I believe right now someone maybe set that up as the top video, like the summary video on the WIKISPEED site from 2012, where someone was explaining the idle issue at least. I don't know if that's the latest issue that's going on, but if so, I can go ahead and put that on there.
The current state is most engines aren't starting at all. And it seems to be, I mean, in an engine like this, it's either fuel or spark, right? One of those is not working. And it looks like it's an electrical gremlin. I don't know that for sure, but we don't have someone in team who's competent or skilled at troubleshooting modern automotive electronics right now, like an ASE master mechanic would be.
Okay, good. And then what else do I have here? I want to clean up 5 broken links on the website that I noticed today but didn't get a chance to do. And then I was going to do another YouTube Live Events test run. I think at this point I'm pretty sure I need to try some different hardware or something along those lines. It seems to work for a little bit. It's weird what it does. It just logs off, or kind of like screen locks. But when it does that, it completely loses the session. The computer doesn't reboot or anything, but it closes all the applications and locks the screen. So that's a new one to me. I'll have to play around with it and see what the issue is. And I guess that's it for my backlog blocks and hands.
Thanks, Chris. So Milo has a whole bunch of Pentium 4s. He may be able to send you a working motherboard or a whole box. I think if he has working audio, maybe he can speak to that point. But I'll be happy to go next. Oh, go ahead, Milo. Yeah, go ahead.
If he needs one, I will make sure I'll look through and get one that actually works. If he wants a Core 2 Duo, I think I have a couple of them laying around as well.
Just so I don't take as many parts from you, if you have something that takes DDR RAM.
Not DDR2.
Okay, or DDR. I'm sorry, DDR2. I'm totally saying the wrong thing. If you have something that takes DDR2 RAM, I already have everything else except the motherboard and CPU combination.
I assume Milo is checking. Okay, with that, I will go next, and hopefully Milo then can follow on, because that sounds like logical progression. Last week, I worked with the team to unload car 008 partial chassis prototype. That's the first complete chassis of the no-weld tech. We'll see if that's functional or not. We have half of the chassis that was built in Tucson. The team and I will work on the other half tonight. Unloaded car number 7 back from Tucson. It did have some damage in shipping, not terrible, and the shipping was insured. But I took photos of the shipping damage. And one of my to-dos for this week is to make a list of the part numbers of what was damaged, and the shipping company will replace it. Lifted engine to relieve stress on the damaged engine module. Actually, the team did that while I was doing other stuff. I did an A3 root cause analysis on our engine module problems and shared that with the board of advisors, and from whence generated an email to the team and our current customers. I pressed in hub carriers into the bearing blocks, 4 of them. Actually, Milo did most of that. The team greased brake pads into the rear calipers for the next car, car 8. I shared the brilliant Santa's demands that Chris Wallace put together on Facebook and Twitter. Uploaded demo videos for the little bit over the last 2 months. That took 2 days. It was ridiculous. And they still don't all have good descriptions, but I at least tagged them all with relevant tags, so we should be able to search them at least. Hopefully we can add descriptions as people have time. Then Alex Schnapp, and I worked with him a little bit, recorded the wall of done, from which we can generate historic velocity. And then Milo moved the composites rack in the Linwood shop and a few other items that I hope he'll talk about. I know that's about half of what was done last week, but that's all I could remember before stand-up. I really wish I was better at using Carica, so I could just look at Carica to see what was done. Sorry, guys. I really need to become more disciplined at that. Next week, I will invite Chris to all Dropbox folders. Thanks for reminding me, Chris. I need to measure the axle nose inner and outer washer size. That's to reduce cost and weight from having to put an axle nose inside our bearing block to hold the bearing together. If we have two washers that are the right size, we can do it with just a lung bolt. Then unpack engine wiring harness for car number 001. That should have arrived back from Tucson. Then connect the engine, ECU, and the ignition and ECU for car 001. Then connect car 007 to our Hondata unit through its OBD2 port. This should let us see if the reason it's currently not starting is just that the key doesn't match the ECU, and then switch keys because we've got a whole bunch. Or we can use the Hondata to disable the immobilizer key check. So we may try that tonight. Then I do need to make a parts list of part numbers of what was damaged on car 007 so I can research the price of each. And then I'm going to ask the team to search for BSFC charts, brake-specific fuel consumption charts. The EcoMotor website has a compendium of them. There are probably more somewhere on the internet. The last time I did an exhaustive search was 2010. I hope there's many more by now. That's the most important factor for choosing engines. Then once that's known, I'll ask the team to help me search Craigslist for running cars under $5,000 with high BSFC engines once we look at the BSFC chart. Seems to be better than 200 grams per kilowatt hour is pretty awesome, by the way, so we can use that as a reference if we find BSFC charts. They're hard to come by. Then assemble modular steering knuckles. We have the parts to do, I think, 2 of them. Then attach rotors and calipers to those steering knuckles if we have them. Then tonight, finally, I think we need to pull the axles out of car 7 so that we can do engine module work and suspension work. That is probably more than is going to get done in the shop tonight unless a bunch of people show up that I'm not expecting. Who knows? So that might be some backlog to carry into future sprints too. But I'll try to make a dent in it. A blocking issue is I've got a cold, a pretty nasty, yucky one. So I want to take it easy and go really slow, which is hard for me because I get excited and I race around and I do a lot and I get sweaty and then I get more sick. And I've done this many, many times, so I know that's what I do. So I've got to somehow take it easy, which I don't do well. So I may force myself to leave the shop really early, or I don't know, so I don't work myself into getting more of a cold. I don't have other blocking issues. Milo, would you mind going next?
Yeah. Last week I got the insulation in the garage, at least what we have put up, but now it's not cold. This computer, it's all ready to go, already has Linux Mint installed. What parts do you need out of it?
Like I said, if it can take DDR2 RAM, I can just take the motherboard and CPU. The basic setup I'm using now requires Windows, which I already have a license for. I would prefer Linux, but I don't know that it's going to jive with all the little pieces of software I put together.
And are you very picky? I have the AMDs, which are slightly slower, as well as the Core 2 Duos.
AMD would probably make it easier for me to just pop the hard drive in and not have to reload the operating system, because I think that the AMD is what's in the existing computer.
Gotcha. MSI board, that matters sometimes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll start there.
All right, so I'll pop that out of there for you, and hopefully Joe can ship it to you.
I'll cover the shipping cost.
Also, the composites rack, that was not done last week. It was done a couple of weeks ago by Alex and the couple from University of Washington. And I didn't actually press the things. I did the brakes while they pressed the things. I don't know what, yeah. I have not been too awfully productive, believe it or not. So I give myself like a 6, and the team a 9.
What do you plan to get done this week, tonight, or into the next week, before next Thursday?
I don't really know. There's not a whole lot of things on the backlog that I can do, like by myself. Like most of the things involving the car are stuff that we need, like Conrad, or stuff that we need multiple people, like the welding on the box. Hopefully we can get that done tonight, you know. And then taking those axles out and seeing how much damage they have. We're probably going to need new axles for car 7.
Any blocking issues, Milo? Anything slowing you down? And specifically a process improvement?
Needing items that I can do by myself.
Okay, maybe there's an opportunity for us to split some of the stories in the backlog into parts that are one-handable, because you're around the shop a lot during the week. You're there 9 to 5, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. I think that's funny. Okay, so maybe that's an opportunity to split the backlog. Okay. Milo, anything else you'd like to add to your stand-up?
Nope, that's pretty much it. So I'll get this taken apart before you show up likely, and you can grab it.
Perfect. It may be easier to ship in its case, but your call. Whatever material we have to wrap it in to ship is great.
I mean, I could ship him the whole case. It's just going to cost him more, or, you know.
Whatever's easier for you all is fine.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll ship the whole thing, and then you can just reinstall Windows, or plop in your hard drive, whatever.
Great. Okay, who would like to give their stand-up next?
I guess that leaves me. Not a lot of progress. Stuff I was going to do, or that I listed last week. They only got one part done, which was reading through the IEEE paper about the AC control using just the generator. And so that's about it for this week. Next week, I really hope I get this Curtis controller running and get a couple of links on the electrical motor module bill of materials so that other people can investigate or come up with better options or whatever. And I still need to dig out a couple of 120 volt motors and check out whether how they're wired so I can get ready for this for when my parts arrive for the new controller. And I got no blocks, and I think that's about it.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. Let's go right into retrospective. I'm incredibly happy with the team, a 10. When I was able to dive into what's blocking our engine module production, folks immediately swarmed on how to speed that up. Meanwhile, progress on all fronts, especially I'm glad to hear about the windshield coming along, because that means more of the car is ready for the Nürburgring team, and they're putting in their own damn engine anyway. So that means we're unblocking them too, which is cool. As soon as they have a roof, they need a windshield and a roof and wipers. But it seems like progress is being made along those lines. For myself, I'd say a 6. I'm a 4. I'm amazed how long it took me to understand that we had a block with our engines, and I'm amazed that it took me having to do an A3 root cause analysis to even understand that was a block, especially since I'm living WIKISPEED every week. That was amazing to me that I needed a tool to walk myself through to even see that that was a blocking issue. Glad that finally happened at all. A process improvement might to more regularly identify the top blocking issue. Maybe we need to do a better retrospective type, or rotate having people do A3s on what is preventing us from delivering a customer car today, and help see the top priority block. Because it seems like my mind naturally goes to suspension and chassis. I'm noticing. I'm always working on those things. I seem to like it. And it seems I miss other serious blocks. So maybe a tool will help me and everybody else see the thing that actually needs to be swarmed on. That said, despite the low score I gave myself, I'm thrilled with last sprint. I think it's going to turn this company into something we can move on. Who would like to go next?
I'm good next. I will give myself a 5. I didn't do anything with the windshield this week, but I am getting it ready so that the windshield can be even more efficiently done. So by having a new warehouse, a larger space. And, I'd give the team a 9. There's a lot of activity on the emails. I saw a lot of unblocking being done. So, I don't have a process improvement. I'll agree with Joe on his process improvement. That would be mine. And that's it.
The problem is, Rob, I don't know how to accomplish it. I'm just interested. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
And Rob, the accountants at Scrum Inc. did cut the check for the build party you helped us on, and it's been mailed to me. I haven't received it yet. As soon as it arrives, I'll then cut you a check and mail it to you. I think that's how it happens. I'll look through it and verify it with our accountant, but I think that's what happened. So hopefully before Christmas.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Who would like to go next?
I'll go. Let's do it here. They may have changed already. Okay, well, I wrote here an 8.5 for me because I did my best I can without having an actual shop to work in. But actually, I think I need to bump that up to a 9 because just in this meeting here, even without being local to anyone else that's working on WIKISPEED, you are solving a block for me by getting a computer from the shop to where I am. So that's awesome. I'll give it at least a 9 on that. The team, I'll give a 9.99. For similar reasons, I really like seeing everybody swarm together and try to attack this engine module problem. I did want to mention, Joe, that I do think, thinking back, that there's been other times that you've brought this up as an issue. You've tried to different ways to go about removing the block, and you've mentioned those things, but I didn't understand how severe of a block it was until seeing it spelled out in these are our options. So, I mean, I really think that you've done a good job making sure, letting people know it's a block, but I think that the way it was shown this time shows that it's almost more than a block, it's a stopping factor if it can't be overcome. So, or at least something that could require refactoring, which we don't necessarily want to have to do. I mean, I think that also, I don't want to be too long-winded, but I want to say I think that the path we're going down is the fastest and easiest way to get there. We just need to figure out how to make that path smooth. I also give the team a 9.99 because all those videos that you took the time to upload were awesome and showed all the work being done on everything. Everything's moving forward at the same time, which is just always amazing to me. And process improvement, I wanted to mention this, I think I wrote down, is anyone opposed to the idea for fundraising, trying to monetize our web presence? Maybe put a small, unobtrusive ad on the website and possibly see about YouTube. Putting maybe a short ad before, maybe just certain videos, something like that. Is that against our principles, or is that something that would be acceptable?
I'm glad you asked me. I'll give my opinion, and I'll be really interested to hear everybody else's too. I've got a strong personal sense of ethic around revenue generation, and I'm totally fine with adware, by the way. I think that's an awesome idea. In fact, the other thing I'm fine with is donations from murderers and drug dealers. I like to think with us as money laundering for social good. We'll take that money and do something really good with it. Yeah, so that's just fine.
I understand why those two are compared equal. That's why I was asking.
Our YouTube videos are only getting like 500 views. So you're not even going to get $5 a video off from YouTube. It's going to be like maybe 56 cents or something like that. So it's really not worth it for the amount of inconvenience you add to people.
Well, we are a very lean company, and you'd be amazed. I've seen the PayPal account. You'd be amazed on everything that's been done on what we're surviving on right now. An extra 56 cents could make a difference here and there. I actually personally know, too, that the website gets a couple few thousand views a week. Something like 85% of those or more are new views. So I would think that's more what I'm leaning towards, is maybe using the website and seeing if we can put it.
I'm worried about the vibe. You know, we're coming across as a company that's open source and everything. Wikipedia did the ad-free thing, and it really made a statement. That's kind of my side. Of course, I'm nothing in comparison to Joe's opinion, and Joe seems to like the extra money. So.
Milo, we're a team. I don't think there's nothing compared to someone's opinion. I'm glad you're stating it. It's a very valid stance. Thanks.
It's also why I asked if anyone on the team has an opportunity to do it, because, I mean, I think that if it makes anyone feel comfortable, it's something we maybe should not do.
I'm okay with it.
And I'm okay with it too. Money is good. And
Yeah.
I agree. We're going to do good stuff with it. So whatever we need to do to raise the money. I'm going to give myself a 3, and I think the team I'll give a 9. And process improvement, I don't really have one. I had suggested trying to get a camera in all the shops to do the time lapse, and I haven't gotten to finding an app on a Google phone or an iPhone that actually does the job that I want it to do. Everything comes close, and whenever I find something that looks like it's close, that's actually a real camera, they discontinue it. And anyway, I've stopped looking for those, and I guess that's about it for me.
I'm glad you've done the research, because I keep meaning to and not, where I spend like 4 minutes and I'm still reading about the first camera I came across, and then I get distracted or I get pulled into something else. So I'm glad that you dove into that, Michael. That's awesome. And yeah, the solution is probably an app, especially now that previous generation smartphones are so cheap. In fact, I've got my own collection that I can donate to different shops if we can find applicable apps. Mine are all old iPhones, although I think I'm about to switch to Android finally. I've been meaning to do that every generation and keep not for some dumb reason. Yeah, Rob's like, you should do it. We'll use Google for everything. It's going to be way easier. Then again, the new Windows Phone is looking completely boss, too, by the way, Windows Phone 10. So who knows? Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to take all that time. But thanks for doing the research, Michael. I kept meaning to and didn't. Who would like to go next? Yeah, that might be everybody. Is there anyone on the call that has not yet given their stand-up or retrospective who would like to? Awesome. Guys, that wraps everything. But I do have some open conversation topics for folks that can stay on the line. If you need to go, it's totally fine. Go ahead and go. Thank you very much for your time. But if you can stay, I'd appreciate as many opinions and references as we can. Michael Wolchek. Scrum Inc. Applied to South by Southwest to do a build party in Austin, Texas as part of South by Southwest, and we were accepted. So March 16th, Monday, we're doing a build event there at South by Southwest, and it should be huge. I mean, we'll probably get all types of press. So we want those ads all the fuck over the website and YouTube channel, because we're not allowed to put ads on the car. South by Southwest is, to Milo's point, taking the high road. We're not allowed to advertise as part of these events. It's really cool. Like TED and TEDx, they avoid that the best they can to make it a pure experience. That said, we should be ready to do the coolest we can with the interest that we're likely to generate. Here's the problem. We want to drive that car out of there, and I just sent an A3 about, well, the results of an A3. I should send the whole A3 to do a block on our engine modules. Now, it's inside I think it's in a hotel. I've never been to South by Southwest. I think this part is in a Marriott conference center or something. I don't know. And they do car shows there, so we could start up a gasoline engine, but it'd be where, and it's the future, and it's the right answer to make an electric. We just haven't been able to do one. Michael Wolchek, my question for you is, remember way back in the day when I said any electric module, even if it goes only 5 miles an hour and has a 2-minute runtime, is better than nothing because we can use it at shows. And we can afford the batteries for that. But there have been many issues, the accelerator pedal's not matching. I get it. It's a challenge, right? This is new space to everybody, and this isn't any of our full-time jobs. We do this for fun after work, nights and weekends. But here's a question. Out of the spare parts you have, is it trivially easy to make a low-power, low-range module that we can stuff in that car? If so, we mitigate the risk for that event, and great. Otherwise, I should sell a kidney and hire an ASCE certified mechanic to go to town on the 5 different gasoline engine modules here, none of which are running right now.
Is it trivial? No. I've got a couple of Curtis controllers that are from golf carts, carryalls, those carryalls that I got a hold of. They are only 48 volts. They won't go fast, but they'll go. I've got a transmission connected up to an electric 9-inch net gain DC motor that is working, although it is making a nasty howling noise per my last update video. So there's an alignment issue, and it's spewing transmission fluid all over my garage whenever I start it. So it's certainly not very impressive. I need a new set of seals on that transmission, but yeah, it works when we hook the axles in. It hasn't been in a car because I don't have a car, so I don't know what other problems we're going to run into. I do have an accelerator that will work with it. It's not going to be all that impressive, but it will work with it, and I can scrounge a key switch and light switch and that kind of stuff. Getting it there in time might be a bit of a challenge.
Okay, I hear you. All right, so it's not home run easy. Okay, then I will proceed with plans A, B, C, and D, and wouldn't be if that info comes true. Okay, don't stress yourself out about that one. I do think the generator option is truly viable. Our car is so darn light, so probably better to spend your time that direction if this isn't a trivially easy course. Thanks for answering that question. Anyone else, other input?
With just what you were just saying, the AC motor, I think that thing also decreases the weight too, because you don't have to have a battery pack. So that adds to the efficiency there. But Michael just mentioned maybe like a golf cart motor. I mean, if you're just trying to move this thing, it weighs more than a golf cart. I'm sure, but maybe something very simple, just a motor attached, maybe 2 motors to attach the back 2 wheels to get it going. The other thing on the gas-powered side, has anyone ever tried to put a VW Bug motor in this? And I mean, they're so simple, and there's very few parts. I know that they do require, I would say the standard design I think has a transaxle, but I'm not sure if that's also something that anyone's tried out.
I have no experience with VWs of any type, although multiple people have stopped by the shop and said, why don't you put a VW motor in there? There's just 4 bolts. And that's probably a good idea. The brake-specific fuel consumption, my understanding is it's pretty bad. So there's not a chance in fuck that we'd get 100 miles per gallon is my understanding. That said, if it's so easy that it gets us back on road getting data, that's not a bad idea. If I already had any idea how to do it, I probably would have done it already just as a test, but I don't. But there's a lot of people who do. So that's a valid potential solution, at least an end run to get testing.
And the reason I didn't mention it previously is because, yeah, on the miles per gallon, it does no good, but it is very simple. I mean, my dad had built a car out of VW frame and put a Model T front on it, and I mean the engine is, I mean it's kind of like a souped up lawnmower or something. It's not overly complicated. But the reason I brought it up, it was for the car in Austin that needs to be able to move, to be able to drive out. It might be a very quick way to get a demonstration car. Of course, it's going to be a little noisy, but but it might I don't know. It might take care of that issue anyway.
I think there's a couple of challenges with the Volkswagen. Since they are manual, you need to come up with a shift linkage that will fit into the cabin, and you need to come up with a way to connect the clutch, which is just a little bit of a challenge. I also have that challenge with the Honda Civic manual transmission, and my way around it is you get out of the car, you walk around it, you put it in reverse, then you get in the car and you move it, and then when you want to go forward again, you stop the car, you get out, you shift the transmission into second or third, and then you get in the car and you drive away. It's really hokey, but it will move, or it should move anyway.
I'll try to go out. That car still exists. It's not in running order right now, but I'll try to in the next couple of weeks anyway go out and take pictures of the clutch linkage and the shifter, because it was added to something that was somewhat aftermarket. So I'll see if I can get some pictures of how it was done on that vehicle anyway.
Okay, and Chris, on the idea about using the smaller motor from like a golf cart or carryall, the original motor is 3.3 horse, and it's got a little gear on it, like 10 or 12 teeth, and it's great for connecting to a golf cart because all of the transmissions, all the transaxles are kind of set up for that. But it's not as wide as a car is. It's not as it doesn't have parts that lets you connect it to a CV joint, if you want to describe it that way. It's mechanically way above my head to try and get that to work. So that's why I haven't gone that direction.
Yeah, when did you say that event is?
March 16th? January, February, March? Yeah, March 16th.
Okay. Do you need a transmission, say, with an electric motor? I mean, do you actually need a transmission in there?
Not to go 5 miles an hour.
So it could be as simple as just a timing gear and a belt hooked to an electric engine. Okay.
Yep, and I can make gears, luckily. I can make straight gears. I don't know, I'm not cool enough to affordably make worm gears or synchros or anything, but I can make straight gears, and I can make them thick enough to hold power. So, yeah. I'm surprised you haven't said, Rob, that you just put your Formula engine in here yet. I'm really surprised you haven't said it, because, yeah.
It is just a crate engine.
Rob, if you can go brake-specific fuel consumption charts on modern Chevy engines, I don't know anything about modern Chevy engines, but I do know that they sell turnkey crates. In fact, they're the only company that does. That includes all electric, all electronics, and the key. And they're the only company that does that. You don't even have to think about it or learn the engine other than the mounting point, which is intriguing. My understanding, the efficiency is very different. It was in 2010 when I was doing the final building for the X Prize. But by now, maybe the situation's reversed. I just don't know.
Yeah, I know.
They're not cheap.
No, I've checked them out myself before. The LS3 things are so light now. But have you thought about that Ford 3-cylinder at all? I don't know. I haven't checked their website or anything to see if they have anything or what their deal is. But
yeah, the 3-cylinder and the EcoBoost. So its brake-specific fuel consumption chart in 2010 was pretty crummy, actually. It takes a different approach where it makes the most area of the engine's efficiency large, so you're driving at its most efficient point much more often, but its peak efficiency is actually pretty crappy. It's just you're not in the least efficient regime of the engine most of the time. You're in the most efficient regime, but you still have a meaningful gain, even though the peak efficiency is kind of terrible.
Right.
But that said, I think their crate engine, which was not turnkey, did not include electronics to my knowledge, so we're still stuck where we are now. I think it was the same price as the Chevy, which comes with all the electronics. Yeah, I don't know how efficient the Chevy engine is. What I do know is it comes advertised as turnkey. That's what's attractive. It makes a bum ton of power. That's cool. 430 horsepower is its stock. And I don't mind power. It's just its efficiency used to be poor, and I don't know if it's gotten better.
Well, that high performance motor is like, I think it's like 20 to 22 miles per gallon, like in a 3,000 pound car with your grandma on your foot. Your grandma.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So
Even if we great cooling on it and put a ridiculously high gearing,
right.
Not geared for sport, but geared for it being in a 1,400 pound car, maybe
Right.
it would get up 70 miles per gallon. I don't know. How we would know is the brake-specific fuel consumption, because then we can actually compare engine to engine to efficiency apart from its drivetrain. And we know the Honda unit is right about 200 grams per kilowatt hour, as is the Volkswagen TDI, but that's measuring volume to volume. If we measure mass to mass of fuel, the Volkswagen engine is actually much less efficient. That story comes out in its emissions. That's why it has higher emissions, because it's actually burning more fuel because it was more dense. Any other cross topics or more thoughts on engine awesome?
I just, if everyone's done with the engine module topic, I just wanted to come back to the monetizing the website. I think everyone except for Milo on the call was okay with it, so I want to ask Milo if he would be okay with one small, unobtrusive ad on the website with a survey next to it that says, does this piss you off?
Okay, I'm not necessarily opposed to ads completely. I just don't think, okay, like if we were getting like 80,000 hits, it would probably be like way worth it. But I don't know whether or not what the threshold meets where doing the thing that seems honorable and doing the thing that rewards us the most meet. I'm not sure if we're past that line. We might be down here. You know what I mean? That's what I was trying to say. I'm not like, oh, I think it's morally wrong in every circumstance, because the money will be used for good. It's not like a gunpoint for the good of humanity.
No, Milo.
There's always like ad block ads, etc.
Gandhi said, the ends don't justify the means justify themselves. So
I like that quote.
As long as the ads are for sadistic homosexual porn, we're fine.
Okay, I think I'll take that to mean I'll at least pursue learning how to set it up.
Hey, I think we got the shit of the work right, though.
I think we all started laughing before we muted our mic, and it was just like a big laugh fest.
Rob, did you say you have the picture you want to share?
Yeah, I have it. Here you go. Conference room. And
Wow.
warehouse.
Wow.
Warehouse is nice. And then the entrance. Hooray!
Rob, that was pro. And you have the scary light up blue guy.
Yeah,
on
that's
the river at the entrance. Nice.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty cool.
are you into hovercrafts and like quad rotors and helicopters as well, or just planes?
Oh, no, not in the quads or helicopters. Just UAVs and targets. No, I was never in a helicopter. I've cut helicopter blades and designed them for a UAV company that was helicopters, but I'm just not into that stuff. There's no beauty in helicopters for me. Airplane wings and airfoils. And and cool looking cars.
So, how well do you think a 1997 Ford Taurus would work as a motor module?
I think it would work really well, actually. Yeah, I noticed Alex's RSX that he lent us. It would also make a damn good engine module.
Yeah, no, that would.
They both would. The other thing I just thought of now, I never gave it much thought before because of the transmission difficulty, but I have a Harbor Freight 13 horsepower industrial motor that I bought from Harbor Freight on sale for almost nothing with a coupon. And it probably actually makes more like 10 horsepower. But if we put a fixed gear on it, and some type of slipping clutch, I'm not sure what that would be, just so it doesn't stall when it's engaged. I wonder if we couldn't connect it and have like a top speed of 5 miles an hour or something, just with that. Any type of transmission would really solve the problem, but I'm not sure how to mate it to a cost-effective transmission. But
I would
we
look at old-fashioned snowmobiles. They use a very simplistic momentum clutch that once you get to like 600 RPM or so, it has centrifugal force, the 2 or 3 kind of like drum brakes. And then on the outside, you have the drum barrel, right? And that connects directly to one of your wheels.
I love how Chris Wallace's dogs are explaining the concept while you speak it through, Milo. I'm adoring the combination. Milo, yeah, I've seen that tech, and it's interesting to me. I don't know how to implement it. If we could get a used or an inexpensive new system to try, I'd be a fan. Comet is a brand that makes those for go-karts all the way up to our 13 horsepower range. And I think they make one for like $250. It's a centrifugal force CVT thing, but I don't know how to work with it. I've never used one before. Thanks, Chris, very, very much. I'm glad that happened. Yeah, there's an option there. I just don't know how to do it. So it's not a slam dunk. It might end up being difficult.
I'm all for the electric module myself, but
Totally, electric's the way of the future. We just need an efficient way to charge the battery on long road trips. So let's say your first 100 is free, and then after that, well, not free, but cost of electricity. And then after that, you have a little 2-cylinder hop-in.
Well, electric has so many right things about it, but getting something with 100-mile range or even 40-mile range, so far we haven't been able to do it for less than $10,000, which is a non-starter. The target cost is under $5,000 for this to actually be sustainable. And right now, we haven't found a battery chemistry that supports that.
Well, if that's the price point, then we have to rule out the GM motor kit thing as well, because that's like what, 7,000.
That price point right now rules out everything. Our current Honda engine module parts is $10,000 in parts, but right now we're not able to get those to work. So that's a non-starter too. So what can I say? If it's more than $10,000, we're moving even in the wrong direction. Is what I'm saying. And for us to actually get the
I gotta go let someone in.
For us to really in the world around us for less than 10 grand. We're going to have offset centralized pollution. And with that, it is 6:59. I think everybody is amazing, and I need to hold meds and blow my nose and walk down to the shop.
Yeah, you don't look so great, Joe. You look tired and worn out, and...
Thanks, Rob. So, hi, Joe. Hi, who's that? You're all in shadows because you're pointing the camera right up at... Sorry?
Here, try. You're in the right corner here? There I am, with the hat on.
You're a spooky-looking silhouette. I almost saw you. I believe there's someone nice there.
There I am.
Hey, welcome. How about Dan? Dan, great to see you. Here, I'm going to waltz on down and say hi. I'll see you in a minute. All right, guys.
Okay.
Off the call.
See ya.
I'm walking to the shop.
I did not
guys.
see you.
Take enough.